Pisces, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We're in Cancer season, just coming off of a full moon in Capricorn. The energy hasn't been too intense, thankfully. Like, we're actually kind of slowing things down. There's a lot of retrogrades popping up. Pluto and Neptune are currently in retrograde. Saturn and Mercury are about to go into retrograde on the 13th and 14th. And so retrogrades really give us an opportunity to slow down. I feel like this is very appropriate for where we're at right now in the collective, in the astrology. There's been so much that's been changing. Pluto moving into Aquarius, and those changes are definitely being highlighted with Pluto in retrograde. It's forcing us to like reconnect, realign, and reassess, realign, reconnect. Or, yeah, I think reassess first. That makes sense. Reconnect, realign. That value of just really listening to ourselves. And this is right now, Saturn and Neptune are on top of each other in Aries. And so it's this message of really sensing into what our intuition, what our gut instincts are telling us about people, about situations. It's important to take care of ourselves right now as well. Also, why that message of slowing down is so important. Trying not to get too ahead of yourself and making sure that you are really like taking time to scrutinize who and what is around you and whether it's like benefiting you or not. So there's also this like magic triangle that is being highlighted in the astrology on this full moon that is going to be in place until 2028, and it's giving us an opportunity to feel more optimistic and hopeful for the future. So good vibes. It doesn't mean everything's in its right place in this moment. That's really why I like to start off with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Cleanse out those places that we are feeling blocks, obstacles, or limited in whatever's going on in our life. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you have come in with something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, Pisces. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are interested in more of a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are aligned in self, when we know who we are, what we want, etc., that's really where we're manifesting happiness, abundance, fulfillment. We all deserve that, right? And I would love to help support you in whatever that looks like. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Pisces, your energy feels like a little bit hesitant around something this week. Like, I'm feeling like maybe you're a little drained, maybe you're a little tired, perhaps making some excuses. I don't mean that in shade to you. I'm sure like whatever, like that kind of slower paced energy that you're feeling is legit and needed. What I am feeling is there's something that you are dragging your heels around. It's coming from this place of like a lack of confidence or a lack of feeling self-assured. I feel like you have something that like you do want, that you are trying to go after, but some old things are coming up with this Mercury retrograde. It looks like some old things are surfacing. That's also what happens during retrograde. And by the end of the week, 4 planets being in retrograde, it does bring up a lot. Pluto is connected to changes that need to be made. Saturn is about doing the hard work, seeing the places that we have to effort in our life. Neptune is about connecting with our intuition, our spiritual self. And Mercury is all about how we're communicating, how we're connecting all of those things into real time. And, you know, I feel like you're still weeding out. That's what I'm hearing. Like, I think that there are some things that are either mental tapes or patterns that are kind of just like deeply embedded in your psyche, or have been embedded because of situations, things that you're walking away from, toxic, it feels like toxicity, unhealthy patterns, dynamics. There we go, 100%. Someone that really did take advantage of you and continues to do so. Perhaps you are like entering another cycle with them, but it like I said, it does kind of feel like it's a hammering out of whatever you're dealing with. Feels a little bit like it's never going to end. Maybe that's part of your frustration, or partially why you're just kind of at this place where you're giving up on certain things that you want, because whatever this is kind of overclouding, sucking you dry. It definitely has, whether you believe in this or not, but definitely that like energetic vampire. That's just like someone who drains your energy, who's always taking from you, who's totally like using you for your resources and doesn't really invest a lot back into you. And for some reason, you're having a really hard time moving on from this. Like, I'm hearing, to your defense, this is someone who's like looping you back in, who finds a way to get you back into the drama. Whether it feels harmless, innocent on the surface, and then kind of as things unfold, you're like, wait a minute, you know? I feel like this is something that you are trying to get out of, but there's a lot of moving pieces, right? It's not so simple as like, take a break and everything's going to be fine, because this person's situation continues to pop up. They continue to show up. And even if this week you might be good at like, hey, I need a break, or let's take a step back, or whatever conversation that is, where you're giving yourself some space to kind of assess and think through, they're not going to give you a break for too long, is basically how it's showing up. Yeah, because they have something invested into this, because you are, for them, you are, you know, you're worth it. I don't know if they're worth it to you. They have strong feelings. They have strong emotions around this commitment, whatever it is. It doesn't just have to be love. Take it how it resonates. The Lovers is really any type of partnership. It can be business. Usually it's partnerships that we're a little bit more intimately connected, whether it is like a business partner, someone you share money, finances with, some type of role in the community, whatever that may be. And you know, you're proactively making changes, or you need change to happen. Again, it feels like someone needs you more than you need them, or they just have more invested, or they're kind of selling it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like they've convinced themselves, but like I said, topically, it doesn't really look like a balanced relationship. Like, it feels like it has a little bit more toxicity. You're expressing wanting this change, like, in a way where you're saying it has to happen, but there is something that keeps you around. Like, I don't know if you're necessarily suggesting being done and over with something, but it feels like, I don't feel like you keep giving someone endless opportunities. You are putting your foot down, like, this is the change that I need. Perhaps someone's trying to show you that they're willing to do it. Like, I'm seeing this person as like having something's like reigniting a spark for them. Like, this feels like a creative spark to me, where perhaps like, because you've taken a break, nothing has ended. And so they're like, okay, great. Now it feels like they have their foot in the door, or they keep trying to like not get away with something, but they keep trying to push themselves on you is how it feels, right? Whatever opportunity they see as a way to get in, to connect with you, to talk to you, to rope you back in, etc., they're gonna take it. And you're just not on the same page anymore. I feel like you're trying to be as level-headed and practical as possible. You don't have the same, like, they're ready, you know, it feels like, even if this isn't a love relationship, it just feels like it's cyclical, right? Like, someone fights, it turns into these big blowouts, then you find a way to mend, and everything becomes, like, fine again until there's another fight, another big blowout. Like, it feels like you're over this pattern, whatever this patterning may be. It's a little exhausting. You're still trying to give the benefit of the doubt. You're still trying to, like, gather some type of information because of whatever reasoning. You don't trust yourself. It's hard to listen to your intuition. It's hard. Anytime we're in an intimate relationship or where we have to kind of see someone from that more bird's eye perspective, where we're looking at, like, the pros and cons of, like, who they are and what they're doing, it can be really tricky, you know? We don't necessarily want ego to get into play, but unfortunately, like, that's kind of how their energy ends up coming out, you know? Let's look. Because it just looks like you're, sorry, Pisces, but you just, like, you don't really want it, so you're not putting a lot of energy into it. You're keeping it around more for them than for you, you know? Like, it feels like you're trying to not hurt someone's feelings, but you already see the writing on the wall is kind of how it looks, because you've made that decision for yourself, right? And I feel like you have communicated to them on some level, but they still feel like they have, you know, a hand in the game is what I'm seeing, right? And I think this is not as easy as you can just cut off, as much as maybe you wanted it to be that simplistic. You did have to take your time. Yeah, and eventually, no offense, but eventually it's going to hit that point, you know? Maybe you're relearning something right now, seeing something on a deeper level, gathering more information around them. Like I said, they do kind of look like they're trying, but it kind of just always goes back to the same arrogance, the ego, I am dubious, but I listen. There are words, phrases, ideas, and symbols around me. Many of them are not the truth. I use doubt to listen consciously. When I do so, the reality becomes clear. And I feel like this is a lot of, like, kind of listening to whatever this person is saying, how they're saying it, what they're admitting to, whether they're apologizing or not, whether they're really putting their money where their mouth is, etc. I mean, I think like I said, at the end of the day, you kind of look like you have enough going on where you can just kind of make excuses to skeet out. And it becomes uninteresting. I like this. I find beauty in the simple things. It's this value of you simplifying something that does feel a little bit complicated and something that you don't want to feel so complicated anymore. Life is not about exposing, it's about exploring. I find beauty in everything. Smiling, serving others, feeling, and playing. And I think that can even be true for the hard stuff, like not to be a doormat or blind to what's going on, but in this value of, like, even the hardship brings beautiful things, beautiful lessons. It helps us grow. It helps us evolve. It gives us better senses to sniff out the people, the situations that, like, might not be for our highest and best, so that we can move on, so that we can evolve. I am here to enjoy life. Great way to end. I'm not here to suffer. I live in the present. I ignore attractions. I avoid distractions. This way, my life becomes full of love, peace, and gratitude. And that's what it's all about, right? I'm not saying that in a selfish way. I think it's important to, like, you know, not enjoy life at the expense of others. Not that you're doing that. If anything, I see you overly giving the benefit of the doubt to someone else, especially at the expense of yourself. But you're also ready to kind of like break ties with this, because there is a pattern that's coming up on repeat that's going to make it easy to identify. We're seeing this a lot in the collective, especially with all these retrogrades going on. It is really highlighting where those disconnects are playing out, and where like our intuition is like, you know, red light, whatever, the warning sign, whatever you need. It's definitely showing us that if we're willing to listen. So I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed the reading, found messages that resonated for you here, Pisces. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I super appreciate you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear if it resonated, or just say hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.